Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. Happy Saturday. It's Saturday. The weekend is here. This is your K1 Visa channel. This is your green card channel. This is the channel for you to learn how to process a K1 Visa green card application, spousal visa, tourist visa, whatever you want to do for free. So you don't have to pay an immigration attorney thousands and thousands of dollars to do this very easy process. We do it. We do the live stream for you for free. Now, Karina went through the K1 visa process just like you guys, and she's waiting for her green card. Karina is from Caracas, Venezuela, beautiful Venezuela. And she lived in Bogota, Colombia for almost 6 years. And we dated for 3 years. We got married in Florida on the beach on January 14th, 2024. And we processed all of her documents. We got all of her green card paperwork together. And 58 days later, we filed for that, February 29th, 2024. And now we're waiting for her green card adjudication. We hope everybody is doing well. We hope everybody's staying patient and not stressing out the process. Okay? If you stress the process, you're going to get sick. It's going to make you sick. And we don't want you to get sick. We want you to be happy, enjoy the process, and get through it with minimal stress as possible. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the government. Oh, thank goodness. Okay? And this is pure 9 years experience. I got in the trenches, 9 years worth of experience processing K1 visas and green cards and spousal visas. I've been through it all, done it. K2s. It's not difficult. Elliot is on the channel. Hello, Diego and Karina. Hope all is well. Absolutely. We are doing fantastic. We hope you're doing well, Elliot. We hope your family is doing well and that you are hanging in there during this K1 visa process. Because of Jesus channel. Now, I like that. That's an excellent. Now, if that's a YouTube channel, because of Jesus channel, if you have a YouTube channel and you're hello, Diego, good morning from Turkey. If that's your YouTube channel, then go check it out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's check it out and subscribe to that channel. Pete B. Pete B. Long time no see. We know you've been busy, Pete B. Now, never been happier. And he's got the American flag and the Philippine flag up with a little heart in between. Now, Pete B's prometido was from the Philippines. And he got married, and he lives in Minnesota. And he's our go-to guy for Mountain Dew. Well, he was. Now he's taking care of his family. And we appreciate that you made it through the visa process without too many bumps. Congratulations to Pete B. Good to see you back on the channel. We hope your wife is doing well. You know, you went through a little bump there with the RFE at the embassy, but you got it handled like a champ, right? On your pass, you had to get your passport resent. Calvin Davis III, hello, Diego and Karina. On page 8, under part 3, are the information, criminal information, are those questions still pertaining to the beneficiary or the sponsor? Okay, Calvin, are we talking about the 485? Are we talking about the I-129F? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Now, let me see here. Part 3. Okay, so part 3 of the I-129F is, let me see what it is. There's a lot of part 3 is under if. Okay, so we're talking about the I-129F, right? Are the information. These criminal information questions must be answered even if your records were sealed or cleared. Okay, now, this is pertaining to the sponsor. This is the sponsor, okay, Calvin. Does this pertain to the beneficiary or the sponsor? It pertains to the sponsor. Okay? Because of Jesus channel, yes. Okay, guys, look, check out that channel. When you get done watching the live stream, check out the Because of Jesus channel and hook him up. Subscribe to his channel. Pete B, look at that. Okay, Pete B, you get the Mountain Dew salute. Although you kept us in Mountain Dew for what, a year? And we give you a Mountain Dew salute, PB. Thank you. Let's see. Evans, that Nagai. Finally, I'm in California now. Very good. Congratulations. Welcome to the United States of America. We're glad you're here. Joel Adams, on the DS-160, do you put mother's maiden or married name? On the DS-160, you put your mother's married name. Antonio, hey Diego, my fiance is flying in from the Philippines. Okay. Her first stop will be in Los Angeles, California, where she will have a 3-hour layover. You think 3 hours is enough time to get her through immigration. Now, Los Angeles is an international hub. We got planes flying into Los Angeles from Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, lots of countries, primarily in Southwest Asia. 3 hours, you're going to cut it fine, okay? I recommend that you have at least a 5 to 8 hour layover at the airport if you have a connecting flight. 5 to 8 hour layover, okay? 3 hours is cutting it pretty fine, but it's doable, okay? It's doable. If I was you, though, I would try to get a later flight so that way she doesn't miss her connecting flight. Because of Jesus channel, Diego, I finally got a date for my interview on the 19th of April. Good. That's good news. Great job. Devil Dog Z. Hold on a second. Let's see what we got. We got Devil Dog Z. Why do you think they skip dates on the K1 visas? Immigration process K1 visas in no particular order. Okay. Why do they skip dates? I don't know. But they don't process them in any particular order. They just don't. Some K1 visas require more investigation than other K1 visas. So it's just a time-consuming process. And it sucks. The process is, but it's put in place for a reason, and you guys just got to hang in there and muddle through it. Elliot, Diego, do you think buying flights before visa interview is okay? It's not a good idea. Don't do that. I bought flight for 11 days after the interview to come back to the USA. Interview is in Bogota. Expecting a quick and easy approval. Okay. I was in Colombia for 3 months with beautiful Karina. I scheduled her visa interview for November 16th, 2023. And I said it's going to be an easy and quick process. It's going to be no problem. It's going to be quick. Because our K1 visa package was so strong, there was no doubt in my mind she would get approved. So she went to her K1 visa interview November 16th. And the immigration officer said, yeah, everything's fantastic. Great job. You're good. Everything's fine. But we need an Interpol police certificate. Karina's like, for what? Here's my Colombian police certificate. Here's my Venezuelan police certificate. Why do I need that? He said, well, because you are a resident of Colombia, but you're a citizen of Venezuela. Because you've lived in Colombia for almost 6 years, we just need an Interpol police certificate. And Karina's like, great. How do I get that? So he checked the box and said, your visa's approved on the white paper. And on the yellow paper, he said, here's how you get your Interpol police certificate. And Karina got it in 3.5 weeks. But here's the deal. We had planned to leave Colombia in November. November 16th, the visa interview. We figured we'd pick up the visa probably around the 20th. And we're out of Colombia. Didn't work that way. I was in Colombia. I was almost maxed out my tourist visa. Okay. So I was expecting a quick, easy approval, Elliot, which it was, but we had to stay in Colombia until January 3rd, 2024, which was another month and another 6 weeks longer than I anticipated. So I had to find cash to pay the rent on the apartment. I had to, because they wouldn't take my credit card, and it was not what I expected. So be prepared for surprises. Okay. Now, if your beneficiary is from Colombia and she's a resident of Colombia, she was born and raised in Colombia, I would say you're going to be perfectly fine. No worries. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Francois? Have you got all your stuff together? Today's Saturday, right? You said you were going to mail off your paperwork today. Did you get it done? Pete B, thank you for that. I'm going to give Pete B another Mountain Dew salute because he's been a long supporter of your K1 Visa channel. Long time. And we didn't bother Pete B. We left him alone. We knew he got married. He was taking care of his new wife from the Philippines. And he's in Minnesota. And the summer is getting close to summer in Minnesota. So there's not going to be cold. It's going to be nice. The weather's going to be great. Renika Kendo, good day, Diego and Karina. What is the benefit of applying for your Social Security number within 90 days of arrival in the U.S. when applying for it through the adjustment of status? You can do it either way. If you apply for your Social Security card with your I-94 Border Patrol document, you can then get on your new husband's bank account. And then you can wait for a month for a bank statement to come in the mail with your name on the bank statement and your husband's name on the bank statement. And then you can use that bank statement as evidence for your green card application that your marriage is real and true because you guys are on the same bank account. You can get a credit card. You can get a debit card with your name on it, right? So it's a great benefit if you get your Social Security card or your Social Security number early so you can get on the bank, get on the electric bill. You may need your Social Security number to get on some bills. You know, in Florida you don't, but in some states you do, like New York, New Jersey. So it's a benefit. But the only downside is that your Social Security card will come in with your maiden name on it, not your married name. If you decide to take your husband's last name, your Social Security card will come in with your maiden name on it. Okay, so you go to the bank, you open up a bank account with your husband, and then when you get your green card, you go back to the Social Security office and say, hey, here's my green card. I would like to update my Social Security record from my maiden name to my married name. So then the Social Security Administration will then change your name to your new married name and mail you a new Social Security card. That's how it works. How bad do you want to get your green card? If you putting yourself on your husband's bank account as a joint owner, putting yourself on the lease to the apartment or the house deed, get your name on the title to the car or cars, and include all this evidence in your green card package, you'll have less of a stressful time getting approved, you know? So my opinion, Renika, is if you want to get the Social Security number early, you can get it early. You just have to get it in your maiden name. You can't get it in your married name, but you can update your Social Security card once you get your green card. It just means you got more power in America to get doing stuff that immigration's looking for. Immigration is looking for, they want to see you on your husband's bank account. They want to see you on your husband's title to his and now your car. They want to see you on the lease to the apartment. They want to see you on the gas bill, the electric bill, the water bill, the trash bill, the homeowners association. Go get a Sam's card. Go get a BJ's card. Okay? And include all that in your green card application. It's strong stuff. Francois Livingston, Diego, did you say it's okay to send pics to USCIS via UPS? No. Do not send anything to immigration using UPS. Oh, UPS. Yeah, UPS, not the US Postal Service. Now, don't use the USPS. UPS is good. FedEx is good. DHL is good. And make sure you track where your stuff is. There's a young couple mailed their stuff off to immigration via the Postal Service. And now they can't find out where, they don't know where it is. There's no track on it. They can't track it. Where is my green card application? The post office says, I don't know. We have no idea. Did you deliver it? Oh, we don't know. Don't use the Postal Service when you're sending documents to immigration. Use FedEx, UPS, or DHL. So, Francois, UPS is perfectly good. Ren S. Question, by the time I get an interview with Ghana Embassy, my NOA2 expires. No, it doesn't. You've made, due to Ghana doing things, I do my K1 interview happening anytime soon. No, you're Ren S. The embassy will not deny you if your NOA2 letter expires because you are in constant communication with the MVC and or the embassy, right? You're maintaining contact with the embassy. You're sending emails to the embassy, right? Hey, what's the status of my K1 visa interview? You're sending an inquiries to the MVC. What's going on with Ghana? Print those emails, and those emails, those communications with immigration automatically extends your NOA2 letter. Karina's NOA2 letter expired September 10th, I think, 2023. Right? Was I worried about it? No, because I'm in contact with the National Visa Center. I'm sending emails to the MVC. Hey, where's the case number? We got the case number and the invoice number for Bogota. I think it was like the beginning of October, middle of October, right in there. Her NOA2 letter expired. Was I worried about it? No, I wasn't worried about it because we had maintained contact with MVC. We maintained contact with them. They sent me an email. Hey, Diego, this is your case number. Here's your invoice number. Don't contact us anymore because your case is on the way to Bogota, Colombia. This was October 10th of 2023. Karina's NOA2 letter expired September 10th, 2023, a month before. It had already expired. But I wasn't worried because we maintained contact with immigration, okay? And that automatically extends your NOA2 letter. So Ren S, relax. Your NOA2 letter, or even on paper, it says it's expired. But it hasn't. It hasn't expired. The consular officer will continue to renew it for you, okay? But you got to stay in touch with them. Let's see what we got here. Lots of questions, guys. I want to answer every single one of them. Francois, use UPS. Ren S, don't worry about your NOA2 letter. Joel Adams, is it okay to handwrite caption on photos for proof of relationship? Sure, if you want to, but it's more professional if you use a computer and a printer. Get on a computer, like you got the WordPad or WordPad you could use, and use a computer and a printer. It makes it more professional looking. So immigration can see you took the time to put a strong, very nice professional package together. That's what you want to do. Make it look good. Is it going to stop? Is it going to be a problem for immigration if you handwrite it? No, you can do that. But in my opinion, it looks more professional if you use a computer and a printer. Jason Mabry, hey Diego, my fiance's K1 was denied at the interview because one photo of our engagement ring submitted in the I-129F. It appears from the letter, very vague information mentioned in the 221G. Okay, here's the deal. Number one, if you send a picture of your fiance's engagement ring in your K1 visa package, you must write a letter of explanation and explain this is an engagement ring. You got to explain it. I purchased Karina a beautiful engagement ring in Florida. I brought it to her in Bogota, Colombia. I included a photo of her on her finger for the immigration for the K1 visa interview, and I included a copy of the receipt for the K1 visa interview, and I wrote a letter explaining this is Karina's engagement ring. We had an engagement celebration on December 24th, 2021, and this is her engagement ring. If you don't tell them, if they see a picture of a ring on your finger, on this finger, and you don't explain what it is, there's a 50-50 chance you could get a K1 visa denied because of that. If you go to your K1 visa interview with an engagement ring on your finger, and the immigration officer looks at it and takes, especially if you're in countries like India, Pakistan, Singapore, Indonesia, those countries out there, Southeast Asia, the immigration officer might say, hey, you guys got married? No, it's an engagement ring. Prove it. Well, I can't prove it. You could have your K1 visa denied at the embassy for wearing an engagement ring that looks like a wedding ring. If you include photos of a cultural engagement ceremony, you have an engagement ceremony, and it's in Africa, let's say. Let's suppose it's in, I don't know, let's say in Egypt or somewhere like that, North Africa, Morocco. And you have all these beautiful clothes at the engagement ceremony, and you include them in your K1 visa package. Immigration will look at the pictures and think you got married. Hey, what happened here? Did you guys get married? You're either going to get an RFE or a denial. I mean, it sucks, okay? I know, Jason, the process is just very, very strict. Very very mentioned expired. So Jason, so you can do one or two. You can ask for it. You can appeal it if you want to appeal that denial at the at USCIS. Send an appeal and write a letter of affidavit and explain that it's an engagement ring. Write a letter of explanation and have one of your family members and friends write a letter with your letter and say this is an engagement ring, and ask them to reopen the case and don't deny your K-1 visa. Okay, one photo can destroy a life. Okay, I made a video about don't wear your engagement ring to the K-1 visa interview at the embassy. Bring it with you in the box with the receipt. Then there's about 2 or 3 people. Well, I wore my engagement ring to the visa interview. I didn't have a problem. Well, I wore my engagement ring. I didn't have a problem. It's a crapshoot at Las Vegas. It all falls on the consular officer and his or her decision. The best way to avoid it is don't wear it. Well, I wore my engagement ring to my visa interview. I didn't have a problem. Well, congratulations. I'm very glad for you. I'm so glad. I'm happy for you. But if you could have, like what happened to Jason, just a photo. Okay? Don't create the perception that you're married. An engagement ring could be misconstrued as a wedding ring. Don't do it. If you get asked, hey, did you guys have an engagement ceremony? Yeah, we had a great engagement ceremony. We had family, we had friends. We had our engagement ceremony on December 24th, 2021 in Bogota, Colombia, with all of her brothers and her family and her nieces and nephews. And I put those pictures in the K-1 visa application. And there was pictures of Karina's hand with her engagement ring in the photos. But I made darn sure I wrote an explanation to immigration. These are engagement photos, and this is an engagement ring. And we didn't wear Colombian clothes or Venezuelan clothes. We wore street clothes. Okay? If you wear cultural clothes to your engagement party and include those pictures in your K-1 visa package, you could get a denial because of the pictures. Jason, what you need to do is write a letter of explanation. Those were not wedding rings. They were engagement rings. Go to the jeweler where you bought the engagement ring. Go to the store. Go to the jewelry store where you bought the engagement ring. Have the jewelry store write a letter explaining this is an engagement ring, and have them put it on company letterhead. And ask them to reopen your case and not to deny your K-1. Get to work on that. If you do that, you got a good chance to get it reopened and continue the process. Ren S. Ted Cruz office hasn't called or returned any of my calls. Well, there are 2 senators in Texas, Senator Cruz and another person. I can't remember the other senator's name. Call that office. If Senator Cruz is not helping you, okay, you need to call his office every day and blow up his phone and leave messages every day until he gets so sick and tired of hearing from you. And remind Senator Cruz that he works for you. You don't work for him. He works for you. He is your senator. You pay taxes that pays his paycheck. He puts food on the table and makes his car payment and house payment from your tax money. So he works for you. Make sure he doesn't forget that. You could leave a message on his answering machine and say that you're going to file a federal lawsuit against whoever in immigration because you can't get an answer from immigration, and he's going to be included in the lawsuit because he won't respond to your phone calls or emails. Put him in the lawsuit. He'll get to work for you pretty quick. Hannah, hi Diego. There are two options. Check the visa status. One only with case number, the other with the case number with the invoice ID. What's the difference? It depends on the embassy. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia needed the case number and the DS-160 confirmation number for me to advance the process and pay the visa fee and schedule the visa interview and the biometrics for Karina in Colombia. The embassy said, I need the case number and the DS-160 confirmation number. They didn't need an invoice number. So it all depends on what the embassy asked for. If the embassy asks for a case number and an invoice number in the SEAC to continue the process, you got to get an invoice number. So what's the difference between them? There is no difference. The difference, the only thing is, it's up to the embassy what they ask you to use to create your SEAC account so you can continue the process. Antonio, I still have time to change the flight. The other flight, I see there's a 7-hour layover at LAX. You think I should get the 7-hour layover instead of the 3-hour? Yes, Antonio. Change the flight to a 7-hour layover. Do it. Do it today. Get off the live stream. Go change that layover to 7 hours. That will give your beneficiary plenty of time to get through immigration, plenty of time to get her bags from the revolving whatever, plenty of time for her to find the connecting flight, because international flights are over here at LAX, and then flights within America are right over here. So she's going to have a long way to go between the international flight and the domestic flight. It may take her 40 minutes just to walk from international arrivals to domestic departures. It could take her an hour to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes. How busy is the airport's going to be busy. You could have 5, 6, or 7 airplanes landing at LAX from 6 or 7 different countries at the same time. So how many people are on a 747? 300, 400 people? What if you get 6 747s all landed at the same time from 6 different countries? That's 2,000 people that's going to have to go through immigration. It could take 2 hours just to do that. Change the flight to a 7-hour layover. Antonio, you will thank me later if you do that. You will thank me if you listen to me. You will thank me later. Elliot, thanks, Diego. You're the man. Well, thanks, Elliot. Joel Adams, my fiance will have to have a sputum test. Anyway, 2 expired on 408. NBC says she has end of January 2025 to get a visa. Will the NOA2 expire matter? No, it's irrelevant. The NOA2 letter has been automatically extended to January of 2025 by the embassy. The U.S. Embassy, I'm going to assume this is in Manila, Philippines, right? Is this the Manila, Philippines? The U.S. consulate in the Manila, Philippines extended your NOA2 letter to January 2025. So relax. Get the sputum test done, get the results, and then get the visa. Jason Mabry, they said to refile, but I expect the same outcome if I file for a K1 again. They gave no chance to explain. We only are engaged. I'm convinced the CR1 is the best option for approval. Any advice? A CR1 is no problem. You'll get approved with a spousal visa. You can have as many rings on your freaking fingers as you want with a spousal visa. Immigration don't care. They don't care. They know you're married. Okay, so you got a wedding ring on your finger when you apply for a spousal visa. My recommendation is they say that you can refile the K1. Okay, so how much is it going to cost for a K1? $700, something like that. I can't remember the new price. And how much does it cost for a spousal visa? With a spousal visa, it's a pain in the backside. Excuse my French. It's just a pain to do it, because you got to upload all these documents to the National Visa Center once you get your spousal visa approved. And then you got to wait for the NVC to adjudicate and schedule the visa interview. The K1 visa is much easier. If immigration says refile, then what I would do is send a letter, go to the jewelry company, get a letter of affidavit saying this is an engagement ring. Go to your friends. Get a letter from your friends and family. This is an engagement ring. You write a letter, say this was an engagement ring, and before you do anything, try to have the case reopened with those letters of affidavit. Include a copy of the 221G and the NOA2 letter. Okay, send it back to USCIS and say, look, guys, reopen my case, will you please? I have not got married to my prometida. This was an engagement ring. And here is 3 letters and 4 letters of affidavit, which is evidence explaining what happened. Try to reopen the case. Immigration, USCIS might say, okay, no problem, Jason. We're going to reopen the case and we're going to approve your K1. Then you don't have to go through the process again. Do that first. Try to get it reopened first. Do that first. And then if they come back and say, no, I'm sorry, you're going to have to refile, Go marry go marry your fiance. Go get married and file the spousal visa. Don't repeat the K1. Okay, just go get married. But do that. Try to do that first. Try to get the denial reopened as an approval. And you can, if you've got letters of affidavit from the jeweler where you bought the ring from, who says this is an engagement ring, that's strong evidence right there. Okay, it's just my opinion. Okay, and then if immigration don't accept those affidavits, then just go get married and file a spousal visa. Francois Livingston, on the cover letter, I was listing each document that I'm enclosing. Is it better to refer to each document I'm listing as this is petitioner, such as such document, or just write my name each time? On the cover letter, you write your name one time, Francois Livingston, your address, the date of the cover letter, okay? And then you say this, and then you address it to USCIS, whatever the address is from where you got the RFE. To whom it may concern, cover letter, information, as requested from USCIS. 1, this is this. 2, this is this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and list it. That's all you got to do. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, it's not difficult, Francois. Your name first. 2, the address. Where is it sent? Where are you sending it to? USCIS, whatever the address is. Reference, request for further evidence regarding my K1 visa. And then list the documents that are in your package sequentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So Francois, did that answer your question? Diane Smith, is there a fee if you get a Social Security number early? Social Security number is totally free. You go to the Social Security office and say, I want a Social Security number. Here's my I-94. Here's my passport. Here's my K1 visa, which now gets converted into a K3, technically. Okay. And apply for your Social Security number. It gets mailed to you about 10 days later. K Messenger. Oh, wait a second. Francois Livingston. No, Renika Kendall. Thanks, Diego. No problem, Renika. Francois Livingston. Little delay in mailing everything. I'll attempt to go to the post office Monday after work. No, you're not going to the post office. You're going to UPS. You're going to FedEx. If the city isn't flooded with visitors for the solar eclipse. I've been through so many solar eclipses. I'm so sick and tired of them. I think, to me, it's like, I'll Google it on my phone. Oh, there's a solar eclipse. Oh, how good is that? But we got people traveling all over the United States, from all over the world, to watch a solar eclipse where the sun blocks out the moon, or the moon blocks out the sun, or the earth, the moon, and the sun block each other out. Okay, it's no big deal. It's a natural phenomenon because the earth rotates around the sun rotates around the earth and the moon rotate around the sun rotates around the galaxy rotates around the universe, and sometimes all of these planets get aligned in such a way that the sun gets blocked out. Whoop-de-doo. And then you get all these people with their aluminum tinfoil hats saying the world is going to come to an end. Really? Because the planets are aligned in a specific way, the world's coming to an end. Okay, well, you go ahead and drink your drink your coffee and have a calm day. Let's see here. Don't mail your stuff at the post office, Francois. UPS, FedEx, DHL. Hola, Karina, K Messenger. Hola, Karina y Diego. ¿Cómo está la pura vida en Florida? Muy bien. We will be in Texas next Saturday. Thank you for all of your great help getting us to this point. K Messenger, we're pulling you over the finish line, right? We're pulling you over the finish line. And you're this close. You're going to be ready to touch down, and it's all over. And then you got to focus on the green card. Rand S. No, I'm not in contact with the NVC, and every time I try to contact the embassy in Ghana, I get 0. Send an inquiry to the National Visa Center, Ren S, and say, what's the status of my case? They will reply back to you the status of your case. Print the email. That will extend your NOA2 letter. Send an inquiry to the embassy. Explain to them the embassy in Ghana is ignoring you. They're not responding to your communication. They're not telling you anything. And in the inquiry to the National Visa Center, say that you have contacted Senator Ted Cruz in Texas, and he is now helping you with your case. The NVC will respond to you. Print the email. It's going to be date stamped. That extends your NOA2 letter. Hannah, my K1 interview will be after 2 months, but I made my medical exam last week. Is it a problem? No. How long time? The medical exam is good for 6 months. So that's going to shorten down your K1 visa to 4 months. So your K1 visa, once you have your interview, is only going to be good for 4 months, not for 6 months. Because if you have your medical exam 2 months before you have your K1 visa interview, when the date of your medical exam is when it commences for your K1 visa. Why do I say that? Well, because you can enter the United States. You cannot enter the United States with an expired medical exam. If you have an expired medical exam and a valid K1 visa, you still can't come in to America. The Border Patrol officer is going to say, well, your medical exam's expired, but your K1 visa is still good. I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back home and get your medical exam redone. If you get your medical exam done 2 months before your K1 visa interview, it's okay. But be advised, and don't forget that your K1 visa expiration date will commence on the day of your medical exam. Okay? You got it, Hannah? You're good to go, Hannah. Ren S. Emailed, unless I'm government officer, the consulate will not reply. Forget the embassy in Ghana. Send an inquiry to the NVC and tell them what's going on. And then print those emails. That will extend your NOA2 letter. Denise Jefferson. What's going on, Denise? Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. Are there any rules against my beneficiary interviewing for a government job while he waits for his green card? The government recruiter says that proof of citizenship is not required until the offer. He can interview all he wants, but he cannot accept anything until he has a green card. He can interview, no problem. And make sure the government job does not require a security clearance, because as a non-U.S. citizen, he will not get a security clearance. And if it requires a security clearance, he won't get it. He won't be accepted. But he can interview for the job, no problem. Have him do it, no worries. But he cannot accept the job until he has either his employment authorization document in his hand or his green card. But I'm glad to hear that, Janice, that you're helping your future husband here get established in a work in Utah. That's great, Denise. That's very good. Very, very good. Lanny Santos. Hello, Diego, Karina. We're from Indiana. Very nice. If we get married in Florida, what documents do we have to prepare to get marriage license and get married? My fiance is from Indiana, divorced too. To 2 divorces, okay. If you're going to get married in Florida, you got to get certified copies of the 2 divorce decrees from Indiana. You need to have your passport from whatever country you come from, whatever country it is, and you purchase the marriage license, and then you wait 3 days and you get married. It's easy, very simple. Okay, so there are 67 counties in Florida. You got 67 counties to choose from. 67 counties. Florida's a big place. 2 time zones. Okay, Miami's on Eastern time. I'm here near Pensacola in Central time. 2 time zones. Big place. Beautiful state. But they got more toll bridges and toll roads than any other state in the union. Only communist China beats Florida for toll bridges and toll roads. So that's my only pet peeve about Florida is the toll roads. So Lanny, if you're from Indiana, you can get married in Florida, get certified copies of your divorce decrees in case they want to see those. Your beneficiary needs to have her passport. You need to have your driver's license and pay for the marriage certificate or the marriage license, and you're good to go. You got to wait 3 days and then get married. And then you get your marriage certificate right there on the spot. You get 1 for free. One for free as extra. You get 1 and then an extra 1. But pay for 2 more. Get 4. Get 4, okay? So that way you don't have to come back to Florida to get certified copies in case you need them for immigration, for U.S. citizenship, and for the green card application. And when you lift the conditions. Think about this. You're from Indiana and you're going to get married in Florida. In 2 years, you're going to lift the conditions off the green card for the 10-year green card. You're going to need a certified copy of the marriage certificate. A year after that, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. You're going to need a certified copy of the marriage certificate. And then have a couple of backups, okay? So when you get married in Florida, you get one marriage certificate certified copy for free. You get a second one for free. Pay for 2 more and have 4 because you're going to need them in the future, okay? Lanny Santos, I'm from the Philippines. Okay. The beautiful Philippines. Which part of the Philippines do you live in? I got a friend that lives in Dumaguete. He married a lady from the Philippines. He decided he wasn't going to go through the K-1 or spousal visa nightmare, so he just relocated to the Philippines. And he lives in Dumaguete. UPS it is. Francois, thumbs up. Okay. Francois, you're going to get a Mountain Dew salute because you understand UPS is the way to go, or FedEx. Or DHL. Do not use the postal service. Don't. Renes, NBC already sent my case 2 months ago to Ghana, so I had no reason to contact them. They told me to contact Ghana, and I will repeat to you, Renes, a 3rd time. Send an inquiry to the NBC and say, you are not getting any communication from the embassy in Ghana. What's going on? Print the email, and you will extend your NOA2 letter. I don't care what the NBC says to you. They can say, don't contact us. Your case is in Ghana. But the fact is, they're going to respond to you, and they're going to give you an update on your case, and you print the email, and that will extend your NOA2 letter. Bud Garcia, hello, Diego and Karina from Washington State. Now, Bud Garcia, your beneficiary is in Thailand, right? Just north of Bangkok. Mohammed Al-Saraji, hey, Diego, is it okay to fill out new DS-160 after paying for the interview? If you messed up the first one, send a new one. But only repeat it. Don't do more than 2 because immigration is going to go, what the heck's going on? If you made a mistake on the first one, resubmit a new one. Harold A., MVC is taking forever. No, MVC's not. They're waiting for the embassy to get on busy. When the embassy is busy, the MVC can't do anything with your case. So it sits on a shelf until the embassy gets unbusy. When the embassy gets unbusy, MVC want to get your K-1 visa out of their hands into the country where your beneficiary lives. They don't want to have it in their office any longer than you want it sitting there. Renes, my fiance and I got engagement tattoos on my first trip to Ghana. On my second trip, all the pics of my tattoo is visible. Okay. Did you explain did you write a letter of explanation in your K-1 visa application that those were engagement tattoos? Can a counselor during my fiance interview claim my ring tattoo as a wedding ring, even though I mentioned engagement rings? It's up to the immigration officer, the consular officer. If he thinks they're wedding rings, he'll say they're wedding rings, and you're done. But if you wrote a letter of explanation saying these are an engagement, then you're good. As long as you wrote an explanation and signed it, then you're good. Girl Dragon, hi Diego and Karina, my fiance finally arrived. Well, good. And we got married and submitted all the documents for our adjustment of status. We are about to get our biometrics done. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. Girl Dragon, we're here for you anytime. Congratulations. Now, things are going to be good. You get your biometrics done. That's great news. We're happy for you. And the process is slow, I understand, but you're getting there. You're almost there. You're almost there. It's excellent news. We're happy for you. Red S, relax. You explained in the K-1 visa application that they were engagement tattoos. There you go. You're good. Priyanka, hi Diego and Karina. Good evening. What's going on, Priyanka? Jason Mabry, do I need to wait until our case is sent back to USCIS to appeal? The letter said not to contact the embassy or the NVC. Right. The embassy and the NVC have got nothing else to do with your case. You can go ahead and appeal it. You need to go ahead and appeal it like tomorrow. Get all those documents together that I just said you got to get. Go to the jewelry store and have the jewelry store write a letter of affidavit on company letterhead and say this is an engagement ring. You write a letter of affidavit and say this is an engagement ring. Get some of your family and friends, 1 or 2 other people. Get 4 letters. But primarily, you got to get a letter from the jewelry company, the jewelry store, to identify the ring as an engagement ring. Include a copy of your NOA2 letter, a copy of the 221G, and send it to USCIS, whatever service center your case was adjudicated at, okay? And send it to them. Don't contact the embassy or the NVC. They're done with your case. It's going back to USCIS. Fazak, on my initial application paperwork, I neglected to put a driving offense from 38 years ago. I got a separate RFE when I returned that I should add the paperwork for the admitted offense and explanation. Fazak, the FBI, Homeland Security, the whole plan, all these government agencies, the CIA, the FBI, they know everything about you. And if you accidentally forgot to include a traffic deal, then get it handled and get the RFE taken care of. Look at that super chat, Antonio. Thank you, Antonio. Thanks. I just canceled the flight. I will go with the flight that is a 7-hour layover. Man, you're getting a super duper Mountain Dew salute because you just saved your beneficiary from missing possibly her connecting flight. Antonio, you get a super duper Mountain Dew salute. And then we got Francois Livingston. You'll get a super duper Mountain Dew salute thank you for your continued support. Thank you for you supporting this channel with your super chats and super stickers. We appreciate that. You know, I take Karina out to make breakfast at Hardee's and on the super chats. I go, I buy Mountain Dew. I take Karina to go to Arby's. I get the coupons in the mail and I get a good deal on an Arby's. It's great. The super chats, we appreciate you guys. But the most important thing is that we're saving you a ton of money on immigration attorney fees. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to save you money and we're trying to de-stress you. It's a stressful process. Let me see. Frazak, just handled the RFE. It's not going to deny your K1. It's a stupid thing. Okay. A driving offense. Priyanka, me and my husband decided to wait for a response from USCIS if they send an RFE regarding public charge. That's a good move. Not to overcomplicate things. My husband is asking me to be patient. He's correct. Wait for immigration to adjudicate your paperwork. You didn't fill out page 13 and 14 correctly on the I-485, or on the affidavit of support, the 864. Okay, but immigration is going to see your husband's income is very good. They're going to see the 1040s, the tax transcripts, the W-2s, the bank statements, the pay stubs. They're going to see all that. And they're going to go, well, they misread the question, and they'll make a decision whether to slow down your case a couple of weeks by sending you the RFE or just approve your green card. It's a 50-50 shot. It's 50-50, okay? You're in Las Vegas, and you're throwing the dice, and you're waiting to see if you get sevens, right? In my opinion, I don't think you're getting an RFE. I think they're just going to approve your green card. But if you do get an RFE, don't panic. Just fill out page 13 and 14 of the affidavit of support paperwork and move on and get it done. You're good. Francois Livingston, my fiance presented me with a gift when I was in Abu Dhabi. Nice. Could I include a picture and info about it in my RFE? Yes. The more evidence you have of your relationship, the better. Overload your K1 visa package. Overload your RFE as long as it's pertaining to the questions they're asking, and overload your green card application. The more evidence you have, the better, guys. Immigration, if you send in a pitiful, like there's a guy whose wife was from Vietnam. He put together a pitiful green. They got married. They got married. He applied for the green card. He put together a green card application with the proof of the marriage, with the marriage certificate, a couple of pictures, and his tax return. He got a letter from immigration saying, you need to come in for a face-to-face interview. He's in California. So him and his wife had to drive to Los Angeles for a face-to-face interview for the green card, because he put together a pitiful package. It was like, like something a third grader would do. So they even separated the man and the woman and had separate interviews. It's called a Stokes interview. So they sat the guy down and they asked him all these questions for like 20 minutes. And then they told him to get out of the room. They brought the wife in, sat her down, and talked to her for 20 minutes to establish that the wedding was real. Okay. So the guy said, okay, you good. We believe your marriage is real. You've been together for 6 years. You're good. We're going to approve your green card, but we want to see your wife's name on the bank statements, on the deed to the house, on the title to the car, on the gas bill, the water bill, the electric bill, the trash bill. Get that information to me. This is the immigration officer telling the guy now, and I'll approve your green card. If you include all that information on the outset, when you apply for your green card, you won't get stuck in, you probably won't have to go to a visa interview. But he was lazy. He figured, I'm married, this is my wife. The US government can't tell me what to do. They can't tell me what to do. Seriously? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. This is not a right. This is a benefit. It's a benefit. Even if you're married, it's a benefit. Okay? Just listen to me, guys. Fazak, don't worry, Fazak. Take care of the RFE, okay? Francois, go ahead and include that information in your RFE package. Chico, Diego, what is the cost of the medical? How much do I need to hold for the interview? It depends on the country. In Bogota, Colombia, it was like $400, and it was $25 for one vaccination. Karina needed a booster on a vaccination. Cost me $25. It would have cost me $100 here in America, but we got it done in Bogota. It depends on the country. You're in what? Sierra Leone, or I'm trying to remember. Is it Sierra Leone or Ivory Coast? Shiku, it depends on the doctor. It depends. Ask the doctor how much. Joel Adams, correct. Manila, yeah, Philippines, I figured. Diane Smith, if we apply for the adjustment of status and get a social security number before applying, is there a fee for the I-765? Right now, there's a fee. The fees went up April 1st. There is no fee, okay? There is no fee for the social security card, but there is a fee for the I-485 and for the work permit and the advanced parole. The fee for the advanced parole, if you want to travel, okay, if you want to go back to your home country, if you miss grandma, you get to America and you've been here 2 weeks, you get married, and you miss grandma, you can apply for advanced parole if you want to go back to your home country before you get your green card. I don't advise you do it, but people do it, and it's $630 for the advanced parole. It's $260 for the work permit, and over $700 for the green card. So, but the social security card is free. So is there a fee for the 765? If you have anything to do with immigration right now, nothing's free anymore. You have to pay. Ren S, Ghana is not giving me any way to reach them. I just explained to you what you need to do to extend your NOA2 letter, Ren S. You send an inquiry to the embassy and say, the embassy in Ghana is ignoring me. What do? They will respond back to you. That response will extend your NOA2 letter. Hitchum, still no NOA 2. My NOA 1 is February 2023. So I sent a letter in the mail because they never answer when you submit a case inquiry. Okay. Hitchum, what's going to happen to that letter? It's just going to be thrown in the trash. Immigration's not going to respond to you. You're still early. February 2023, February 2024, February, March, April, 14 months. In another 2 months, that's when the cutoff is for right now. But you're going to get your NOA 2 letter very soon, anytime, very close. You're this close. But immigration, when they get that letter, Hitchum, they're just going to throw it in the trash. Joanna's traveling life. Hey, Diego, my husband finally arrived in the United States. We started step 2. Joanna, high five. Shiku, Dumbaya, Diego, what is the cost of the medical? I don't know, because I already had COVID in Germany. What will be the cost? You got to ask the civil surgeon. Whatever country, I'm trying to remember what country. I think it's like, Sierra Leone or Ivory Coast? I think it's Sierra Leone. You got to call the civil surgeon up in the Sierra Leone and say, how much is the medical exam? Because I don't know. Colombia, it was $400. In Abu Dhabi, it's $2,000. In Sierra Leone, I have no idea. The doctors, the civil surgeons that are contracted by the U.S. State Department, they decide on how much the medical exam is, not the State Department. The U.S. government doesn't control the price of the medical exams. The doctors in the countries do. Okay? Let me see. Ren S, hang in there, Ren S. Ria Kumar, I got an email from the NVC on March 12, 2024, that they forwarded the case to Mumbai. That's India. Still did not hear anything from them. What should we do? Can we file the DS-160? No, don't file the DS-160. You got to wait for the U.S. consulate in Mumbai to contact you. But Ria Kumar, what I would recommend you do is send an email to the consular officer in Mumbai at the embassy there and check in. Okay? But it's still kind of early. March 12th is 3 weeks ago? It takes about a month to 6 weeks for the NVC, for the plane to fly from here to India. New Hampshire to India is a long way. That's a long way. It's going to probably go to 2 countries. Your plane may fly to, I don't know, it could go somewhere and land there in space, just give it about a month, okay? Ren asked, your case is ready since February 14th. Then you got to send the NVC an inquiry and say, hey, my case has been ready since February 14th. Why can't I get an interview at the embassy? Then the NVC is going to email you back and say, your case is in Ghana. We can no longer help you. You print that email. That extends your NOA 2 letter. Antonio, good news. Thanks again, Antonio. I'll give Antonio another Mountain Dew salute. Good job on changing that flight schedule. Your beneficiary is going to be so happy that you did that. Because I predict if you land in Los Angeles, it's going to take 2.5 hours just to get through immigration. And then she's going to have to run like the dickens to get to her domestic flight for the connection. So she's going to be on a tight schedule. But if you give her a 7-hour layover, she can go through immigration without stressing. Let's see, Sandesh Patil. Hi, Diego and Karina. I had a question about resubmitting my tax returns for 2023, which were improperly filed. We have already received a receipt notice. Do we resubmit? No. If you messed up your taxes and you've already received a receipt notice from immigration, just don't worry about it and then bring the corrected tax return to the embassy interview, okay? Or for the green card application. Right now, don't worry about it. Things happen, okay? Immigration understand that. Just don't worry about it. Resubmit, get the amendment to your taxes done, and then submit the tax amendment when you apply for the green card or go to the visa interview. Joanna's traveling life. Hey, Diego, I'm so glad to have my husband here in America. Good. It's been a long process. Now we're starting step 2. Congratulations, Joanna's traveling life. I repeat what I just said a minute before. Cornelius Larby, hi Diego, one day I will need an autograph from you. Green card process is going well. You want my autograph? All right, Cornelius, I'll send you my autograph. Just in the YouTube channel somewhere, just tell me where you want me to send it, and I'll send you a picture signed for you. Diane Smith, can you work after applying for a social security number? No, you cannot do that. You work in America when you have an EAD document or a green card. The social security number gives you permission to open up a bank account. It doesn't give you permission to work. If you read on your social security card, it says work authorized by Homeland Security, right? Something like that. So what does Homeland Security do to authorize you to work? What do? They give you a green card or an employment authorization document. When you get that, then you can go to work. Karina's just hanging out, waiting on her employment authorization document. It's not much longer. She'll get it soon, and then she'll get a green card. We're just waiting, just like you guys. Cornelius, let me know. Send me your email address in the YouTube channel, and I'll email you an autograph picture. Or if you want an original signed autograph picture, I'll mail it to an address, like a P.O. box, if you want. Diane Smith, no, you cannot work. You got to wait for the green card or the EAD. Because of Jesus' channel. So is it a problem when I address my fiance as my wife on my text messages with her? Yes. It's a big problem. Don't include those text messages in your K-1 visa application or your embassy interview. You are not married. Don't do that. Immigration will think you guys are married. All right? Don't do that. So don't do that. Karina's helping me out. She's my technical expert. Look at this. I don't have a clue. Francois, another super chat. 2 from Francois. So Francois, you get a double Mountain Dew salute. Okay? Thank you for supporting the channel, Francois. Double Mountain Dew. Tomorrow, I will take Karina to eat breakfast at Hardee's on the super chats for today. And we can even get coffee. Okay? Shiku, you missed my question. No, I didn't. What the question was? I answered your question, Shiku. So is it a problem because of Jesus' channel if I address my wife in my fiance as my wife? Don't do that. Stop. Francois, yeah, I understand. About the cover letter, I'm not clear. Do I refer to each item I'm listing? This is petitioner copy of passport. No. I'll say Francois Livingston copy of passport. No. No, you don't. Immigration, when they look at your passport, oh, you're talking about how do you identify it? How to identify on the cover letter what each part is? Yeah. So you're going to put 1. This is Francois' passport. Number 2, this is this. Number 3, this is this. Yes, Francois, that's what you do. This is to petition a copy of my passport. Or you can say Francois Livingston. Either one is perfectly fine. It's your call. Let me see. I think Tokyo wants to come in. Our cat Tokyo is crying like a little baby at the door. He wants to come in and join the live stream. So let's see. Where is Tokyo? Do you want to see Tokyo? Do you want to see him on the channel? Maybe we'll bring Tokyo into the live stream. Shiku, what was your question? I didn't see it. I would answer you. I'll answer your question, Shiku. But yes, I think you asked me a question about the price of the medical exam. I don't know how much it is, Shiku. I don't know how much it is. Lanny Santos. Come here, Tokyo. Look at this. This cat is a big baby, okay? He came from Colombia. He's a Colombian cat. He speaks fluent Spanish. He doesn't listen to me because he doesn't understand English, but Karina tells him what to do, and he does what he's told because he speaks Spanish, right? There you go. He wanted to get down. Let's see here. Lanny Santos, do we need a witness? I am my fiance and I who travel to Florida. Can we get marriage license since I don't have a driver's license here in the USA? If you don't have a driver's license in the United States, you got to show an ID, government ID, passport, state ID. A passport's perfectly fine. Do you need a witness? Yeah, you need a witness to get married, but you can ask somebody to get married in the clerk of the court's office. They'll find a witness for you to sign the marriage certificate. Don't worry about that. But you just got to, but the beneficiary and the sponsor both have to show ID, government ID, passports, state IDs, okay? In Florida. Isabel Enriquez. We got kicked off the channel for about 2 seconds, okay? Thank you very much. Okay. Isabel, thank you. Gracias. Gracias, Isabel. Gracias. Que viva el amor. Sí. Siempre. Nikita Ajane. Hi, Diego. Should I hire a lawyer for my adjustment of status, or can I do it myself? I don't know if it's a tedious process. It's easy. Nikita. Attorney, $1,000, $2,000. Put together a green card application. I have made videos on how to do it. Now, if you watch the videos that I've made on how to adjust status to green card, you'll know how to do it. It's not hard. Okay, let's go over a few things for the green card application. Number one, you're going to need to get form I-485. Application to register for the adjustment of status. It's 20 pages and it's easy. Number two, you're going to need affidavit of support, right? Form I-864. It's 10 pages. It's easy. Okay. If you need to get an application for employment, it's $260. It's form I-765. Here it is. It's 7 pages. It's easy. Then what do you do with those documents? You fill them out carefully, don't mess up, and then you include evidence that you got married. You include evidence, you got the marriage certificate. You've got her on your she's got a driver's license if she has a social security number. If she has a social security number, include it in the paperwork. If she doesn't have a social security number, don't worry about it. You can have Homeland Security apply for her social security number. Include pictures of your wedding. Include pictures of your honeymoon. Not selfies. Immigration couldn't care less about selfies. They want to see pictures of your wedding with lots of people. If you can't find lots of people, get married in the courthouse, have all of the employees in the courthouse line up for a photo and say, "These are my guests at my wedding." You're not lying because they are. Write their names down. This is so-and-so. This is so-and-so. This is the day we got married. This is the location. Putting together a green card package is easy if you have patience, if you're willing to work hard and get it done, and if you can pay attention to detail. You got to prove who you are in the green card application. How do you prove who you are? Passports. Karina's passport, my passport proves who we are. You got to prove you got married. How do you do that? Marriage certificate, photos of the wedding. Okay? And then you got to prove, you got to show evidence of your relationship. How do you do that? Well, how long have we been? We were dating for 3 years. I've got pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. I had 4 years worth of pictures. I put them in the green card application. Karina's on the tax return. I didn't know she's not. She's not. Karina is on the title to the car. She's on the title to the house. She's on the gas bill. She's on the electric bill. She's on the water, the trash bill. She's on all the services. We waited a month for the bills to come in, and there's Karina's beautiful name. Karina, isn't that a beautiful name? There's her name, Karina Ross, next to my name on the water bill. Made a copy of it. I printed it, and I included that in the green card application. We got her a social security number. We went to the bank. She became a joint owner on the bank. Okay? We waited a month for a bank statement to come in. There's Karina's name on the bank statement. We included that on the green card application. If Nikita, it's easy, but it's tedious. Now, if you want to pay an immigration attorney $2,000 or whatever it is it costs to do that paperwork, go right ahead. but it's a waste of money. That's money you should be spending on your honeymoon, on your beneficiary, on your new wife. Buy her some new clothes. Don't give it to an immigration attorney who's going to, who's not going to probably want to help you after he gets the money. Just my opinion. There's good immigration attorneys and there's bad immigration attorneys. Most of them are good. I got no problem with them, but they're a waste of money. On green card applications, on K-1 visa applications, for spousal visas, they're a waste of money. You just got to know what you're doing, and I know what I'm doing. So I've made videos to help you know so you can learn how to do this. Watch the videos. Google Diego Ross green card application or Diego Ross application for adjustment of status in the channel, and it will take you to the videos. They're about 20, 30 minutes long. If you got 20 or 30 minutes to save $2,000 on an immigration attorney. Shiku, I answered your question. I don't know how much it costs for a medical exam in your country. I don't know. And Francois, you got 2 super chats from Francois, man. That's a Hardee's breakfast and coffee tomorrow, definitely. We don't go to McDonald's anymore because the price is absolutely outrageous. The McDonald's hamburgers it's like McDonald's used to be a place where you could go for a cheap lunch for French fries and a hamburger, $5-6. If I'm going to, now it's $20 or $18 for a freaking hamburger. I can go to a Chinese restaurant and get, chicken curry and, a really good meal from a Chinese restaurant for the same price and eat twice. So I don't even go to McDonald's anymore. It's a ripoff, in my opinion. If you like McDonald's, go eat McDonald's. But I won't go there. But it's not their fault. They got to pay these stupid new minimum wage increases. I mean, seriously. In California, the minimum wage to flip a hamburger is $20 an hour. Managers used to make $20 an hour at McDonald's. Now people that flip hamburgers make $20 an hour. See, how difficult is it to flip a hamburger? Well, we need the money because we can't afford to live because of inflation. Well, who created inflation? The government. So the government creates inflation because they keep printing money that we don't have. They keep buying stuff they can't afford, and then that creates inflation. And then they force the citizens of California, the business owners in California, to pay $20 an hour minimum wage because the price of gas is what, $8 a gallon in California. Why is the price of gas $8 a gallon in California? Because most of that's tax. So I don't know. I just don't go to McDonald's anymore because the prices are crazy. But it's not their fault. Jason is talking to Ren. Bring a letter of explanation of the tattoos are only engagement rings. Garnet is tough. That's good advice. Some of the people there were on their 4th interview. Good advice from Jason. Jason, if you listen to me, get the letter from wherever you bought that engagement ring from, the store, the jewelry store. Get them to write a letter on letterhead and explain what that ring is. That's strong evidence right there. I got a good feeling that they will reopen your case if you do that. Fazak, the RFE I got was not for the admitted driving offense, but I now have all the paperwork for that. Should I add that to the separate? Should I add that to the separate RFE? In the RFE, did they ask you about your driving offense? If they did, include it. If they didn't, it's irrelevant. Larry Piercy, are you seeing my questions? Yes, you're right here. It's in capital letters. I mean, we can see your questions clear across Santa Rosa County, Escambia County, and Okaloosa County. The letras are muy grande. Larry Piercy, Diego, I got a case number from the MVC, not the MVA, but what is the receipt number? The receipt number is on the NOA2 letter. Okay? Renes already did the K1 is so hard on our sponsors, yet the embassy only helps keep this process harder. The embassy in Ghana sucks. They suck. Larry Piercy, invoice, so I can check status at the SIAC like the MVC suggests I check. So you're in Thailand. I can't remember if you need an invoice number and a case number for Thailand to check the status in the SIAC. I can't remember. I know you need an invoice. I know you need a case number. See if you can check it. Ren S, even my lawyer can't get through. Ren S, your lawyer is telling you he can't get through. Why did you hire a lawyer? You're throwing your money away. Larry Piercy, you got to look on the email from the NVC. The NVC will give you a case number and or an invoice number. Look on the email from the NVC. Jason Mabry, I will have the letters from my side regarding engagement rings. Will letters from her family pastor be of any help? Yes, the pastor, definitely. Get your pastor to write a letter to say he is going to be the wedding officiant at your wedding, and he's looking forward to marrying you guys, and the ring that you purchased was an engagement ring. Get your pastor to write that letter. I'm the pastor for these two beautiful, beautiful people. I'm going to be marrying these guys as soon as their K-1 visa gets approved. Have the pastor write it on church letterhead, okay, as an affidavit. That's going to save you a massive, the letter from the pastor, the letter from the jewelry store, and two family members writing letters will get the case reopened for you and maybe get an approval, okay? Get to work on that today. Jason, get it done. Make sure your pastor writes a letter saying that he's going to marry you guys as soon as the K-1 visa gets approved, and that he thought that the engagement rings were very beautiful and a kind gesture. Put it in the letter. Fazak, it is difficult to write a long explanation when asking a question. YouTube only allows so many words. Okay. I don't control YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. Well, so write the letter, write the questions in piecemeal. Let's see here. Mohammed Fal, do you have to renew your Social Security when you receive your 2-year green card? No. When you get issued a Social Security number, Mohammed, it's good for life. It's your eternal number. Don't lose it. Don't give it. Don't share it with anybody except the bank. The bank will need your Social Security number to open up a bank account. But do not post your Social Security number online. Don't put it on Facebook. Don't tell your friend, your best friend, this is my Social Security number. Keep it a secret. Okay? That number is your total life in America besides your green card. Hannah, my K-1 visa interview was transferred from KSA to Jordan. Okay, 25 days ago on the SIAC site, it shows ready. I emailed the embassy in Jordan 3 times to know if the file arrived, but no answer. Here's what you do, Hannah. See if you can pay the visa fee for the embassy in Jordan. Go onto the SIAC account where you got the ready status. See if you can pay your visa fee, submit the DS-160. They may be waiting for that. They might be waiting for your DS-160 and for the payment. So that's what I would do. Let me see here. Oh, Karina, she's back. I always mess it up. Diane Smith, advanced parole only good for before green card? Yes. You only need the advanced parole if you don't have your green card. Can you travel after you get the green card without advanced parole? Yeah. You get the green card, you can travel without an advanced parole. But travel with documents that prove you are a legitimate resident of America. The green card won't be strong enough. If you got to have carry like your title to your car with you, your name's on the title to the car, your name's on the lease agreement to the apartment or the deed to the house. Bring some bills with you with your name on it. So the Border Patrol officer, if he starts to question your green card, you can say, well, I live in Florida, or I live in Texas, I live in California. Here's my electric bill. Here's the title to my car with my name on it, with my husband's name on it, or wife, whatever. Travel with documents that prove you are embedded like a tick in the United States of America when you travel. Karina and I are not going to leave the United States until she gets U.S. citizenship. When Karina is an American, which she's working on diligently, okay, she becomes U.S. citizen, She'll get a U.S. passport. Then we're going to travel. I'll take her to England. Go see Big Ben and Buckingham Palace. Shiku. Diego, what are the compulsory vacancies to take on a K1 visa before international American? I would like to take some of the vaccines when I arrive in the States. Okay. Number one, Shiku, you will not get a green card unless all the vaccinations are completed. You don't have to get them done in the home country, wherever you live in Sierra Leone, right? But you're going to go to the interview in Kenya. I'm trying to remember. But Shiku, what are the compulsory vaccinations to take on a K1 visa? The civil surgeon will tell you what they are. Okay? Ask the civil surgeon who conducts the medical exam on you and your daughter, what are the mandatory vaccinations? Now, I made a video. If you Google Diego Ross vaccinations, I've made some videos about what you need to have, but I'm not a doctor. So that is just extra help for you guys, okay? Vina Bob, hi Diego, good day. I filed my adjustment of status and they sent back my pictures. They sent back your pictures. Well, maybe you sent, maybe you sent original pictures and they didn't want to lose them. They didn't think you'd want to lose them. And that was nice of them. Hannah, if I want to log in on the SEAC site, including the case number with the invoice ID number, will show me more details about the status details. More this one, which I log in daily with the case number. Okay. Hannah, good information. Francois Livingston, enjoy breakfast. Well-deserved, Karina. Desayuno mañana conmigo in Hardee's. It's the breakfast platter with bacon, and it comes with a biscuit and gravy. Karina's like, what is this? The first time we went to Hardee's, she's like, what is this? I said, biscuit and gravy. What's biscuit and gravy? I said, eat it. You either like it or you don't. She loves it. So it's a salute to Francois, a Mountain Dew salute for breakfast tomorrow at Hardee's. I'm taking Karina to Hardee's tomorrow. And Francois is going to foot the bill with her super chat. Thank you, Francois. Super chats. Francois, hello, Tokyo. Where have you been? Tokyo's been hanging out. I don't know where he's right. Tokyo is asleep on the floor. He's a big baby. Okay. When Karina's in the kitchen, Tokyo will follow her to the kitchen and lay down by the closet where the food is because he knows he's going to get little treats. He gets his special treats. And then Karina goes into the office here where we do the live stream, and Tokyo follows her in here. He's like, wherever Karina is, Tokyo's right behind her. Let me see. Francois, got it. Thank you, Francois. And Francois says hi to Tokyo. Lanny Santos, which county in Florida can we get married? Okay. You fly to Florida. There are 67 counties in Florida. You get a marriage license in Florida. You can pick where you want to get married. The marriage license is good for all 67 counties. Okay. Now, how do I know there are 67 counties in Florida? Well, I ran for county commissioner years ago. I ran for county commissioner. My first and last attempt at politics. I'll never do it again. Okay. But I ran for county commissioner and I learned all this stuff about Florida. There are 67 counties in Florida. And when you get a marriage certificate in the state of Florida, you can get married anywhere you want in the state of Florida. Okay? You got it? Because of Jesus channel, thanks so much. And I am taking it out now. You just saved me right now. Wow. Jesus channel. Because of Jesus channel. Guys, subscribe to his channel. Congratulations. Thanks. Because of Jesus channel. Well, I put this channel together because Karina asked me to. We were in Villa de Leyva, Colombia, walking around a very historic part of Colombia. Colombia is a beautiful country, guys. And I was bored, and Karina said, you got to do something. So I had a cooking channel on YouTube that had like 3 subscribers. And then so I deleted all the cooking channel videos, and I made videos about Colombia. We went to the highest waterfall in Colombia. We were here. We were here. I made videos about Colombia. And Karina said, no. You need to make a YouTube channel about immigration. It's more important, So I did. So I didn't delete the videos about Colombia, but I put this channel together because Karina asked me to, her idea, not my idea. And look how far we've come. We've helped thousands of people with their K1 visas. And it doesn't cost you a penny. Let's see. So we're glad to hear that you are feeling good because of Jesus' channel. We're glad to hear it. Okay? You got through it. I'm glad I saved you a big headache. Sandish Patil. Hi, Diego. We were talking about the I-485, which has been received. We did not submit the correct tax return. Don't worry about it. Did the immigration ask you to send a new tax return? You received the receipt notice for the I-485. Or do we have to send the correct amendment to USCIS? USCIS is done with you, okay, in regards to the service center. You either sent a green card application either to Chicago or you send it to Phoenix, Arizona. One of those two places. If you would like to send your amended tax return to wherever it is you sent your green card application, go ahead and do that. Write a letter of explanation, include a copy of your receipt notice, okay, and send it to them. It's not going to hurt you to do that. Shiku, Diego, what are the compulsory vaccines you need to take for interview? Because I want to take some vaccines in the United States. Which one is to take for the interview? The doctor, the civil surgeon, will tell you, hey, you need these vaccinations. You don't have to get them in your home country, but Karina got all her vaccinations done in Colombia. She started off in July, August, September, October, November. She did piecemeal. By November, she had every one of her vaccinations completed, and it only cost me $400. If she had got the vaccinations in the United States, it would have cost me $1,300. The civil surgeon will tell you, Shiku, what vaccinations you are required to have to get the green card. There's no mandatory vaccinations to leave the Sierra Leone for the United States, but there are mandatory vaccinations that are required for the green card. Excuse me, for the green card. Okay, I have made videos on this channel about vaccinations. If you Google Diego Ross vaccinations, there's a couple of videos that will pop up. Watch those videos, and I answer your question in the videos. But I'm not a doctor, okay? It's just from information that I have learned from experience. Priyanka, my husband and I are going to apply for Alabama state ID next week. Good. Because law enforcement need NOA2 from adjustment of status application. Law enforcement needs NOA2 from adjustment of status application. Law enforcement. Well, you want to become a police officer? You want to become an Alabama state trooper? What do you mean, law enforcement? Kellen Adams. Good night, guys. Kellen, what's going on? Jason Mabry. Once I get all the letters about the engagement rings, should I go ahead and email the USCIS or wait for them to receive the package back? No, you put the letters together, the originals, so have them all originally signed by the pastor, by the jewelry store, and then you make copies of those letters and you mail them with a copy of the NOA2 letter and the 221G to USCIS. Okay? Vanna Bob, you got your photos back. The immigration's looking out for you. That's all. Jason, do I need physical copies of the letters by mail? Send them. Mail them. Mail them off. Mail the originals to USCIS. The ones I just told you to get. Plus a copy of the NOA2 letter and the 221G. Priyanka, my husband included me on the renter's insurance. I hope that will be good evidence for adjustment of status. Perfect. It's very strong evidence. Priyanka, you are rocking and rolling. Jason Mabry, in Africa, the vaccines required are COVID and hepatitis A, B for the interview. Right? Okay. I didn't know that. I'm not a doctor. I try not to cover the vaccinations because every country is different. But the civil surgeon will explain to the sponsor and or to the beneficiary what vaccinations are required, okay? I got that one. Karas Hermena, how do I get the invoice number? Send an inquiry to the National Visa Center. Ask them. The National Visa Center, ask them. Ria Kumar, Diego, I checked my case on SEAC. It stated ready as of March 19, 2024, but did not hear anything back from Mumbai, India. Okay, if you're in Mumbai, India, go ahead and see if you can pay the visa fee in the SEAC and see if you can, and go ahead and send the DS-160. But it's still early. It takes about a month for the embassy, for the National Visa Center to send it to India. So India probably got it, or they didn't get it. They just updated the status to ready. It's 50-50. But see if you can pay the visa fee and schedule and submit the DS-160. Get that done. Dominga Camara, hello. I have an interview coming and just realized my petitioner doesn't meet the income requirements, and we did not include a co-sponsor. What should I do? Get a co-sponsor for the interview. If you didn't include a co-sponsor in the K1 visa application, it's okay. Immigration, the USCIS at the service center don't really pay too much attention to your income. They pay attention to income at the embassy interview and at the green card application. If you don't have if you don't meet 100% of the minimum income requirements for the embassy interview, which is going to mean you don't meet 125% for the green card, you must get a joint sponsor, which means the joint sponsor is going to have to fill out an I-134 plus the sponsor. Get your joint sponsor like today. Ask your joint sponsor to fill out the I-134, tax returns, 3 years, a letter from his boss, her boss, where she works, saying she works here. Get 12 months worth of bank statements, get 6 months worth of pay stubs, get all that information together tomorrow, and then fill out the I-134. Your joint sponsor needs to fill out the I-134. He needs to sign it, or she, and date it, and you need to FedEx it, or UPS it, or DHL it to the beneficiary in whatever country it is you live in. Relax. If you need a co-sponsor, you need to get that paperwork together for the embassy interview. Okay? Get it for the embassy interview and then have it ready for the green card application. Karas, where do I get the invoice number? Contact the NVC and ask them for it in an inquiry. Hannah, Karina needed an Interpol police certificate because she was a resident in Colombia. So if someone has lived more than 6 months outside his home country, he needs an Interpol police certificate. It's up to the embassy. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, required an Interpol police certificate because Karina was from Venezuela. And Venezuela is not such a friendly country, okay? The government of Venezuela is a very bad government ran by a dictator. And so the U.S. Embassy in Colombia was just making sure Karina was never part of the Venezuelan government or anything like that, which she's never been. She got out of freaking Venezuela and moved to Colombia because she didn't like living under a communist dictator. So she got the heck out of Venezuela, and she lived happily in Colombia for 6 years. And the embassy in Bogota asked her for an Interpol police certificate just as a final check. So it depends on the embassy. It depends on the embassy, Hannah. Because of Jesus channel, Diego, my fiance, wrote an email to the JP about getting a date for our wedding, but they did not reply back. So my fiance had to call the office on the phone and said they can't answer, do anything. Email to the JP. Okay. Print the email that you sent, even though they didn't respond. If they didn't respond back to the email, print the email that you sent. That's proof of wedding plans. Until I am physically in the States, and what should I do? Don't worry. Print that email. That's evidence of wedding plans. The Mountain Nomads. Hey, Diego, hope you're doing well and your wife is doing great as well. Thank you again for all the supportive advice and help. The Mountain Nomads. I like that name. It's like Mountain Nomads is close to Mountain Dew. Mountain Nomads and Mountain Dew. So Mountain Nomads gets a Mountain Dew salute. The other words I can't understand. I think it's in Arabic or something, but that's all good. Like, what if we wanted to move to a new place before I receive my green card? Don't do that. This is just a consideration. We will do the right thing to make the process flow so smoothly. Here's how you make the process smooth. It's nice and smooth. Suave. Don't move until you get the green card. Don't do that. You go to the post office. I'm changing my address. I live here now. You contact USCIS. I have moved from here to here. What if USCIS says, okay, we've updated your records? Have they updated your records? Maybe not. What if your green card goes to the old address? And then the new person at your old address goes, what the heck is this? And they send it back to immigration. Do not move until the green card is in your hand. And then, if you want to move, then move. And Harold A gets the last word. How long does NVC take? I wanted 2 months. I waited 2 months already. 2 to 3 months. Harold A takes 2 to 3 months. I am getting hungry. I'm going to make some tacos for Karina. It's my turn to make dinner tonight. So I'm going to make tacos. See? ¿Te gusta?
Sí, pero
What?
tú vas a cenar tacos.
It's I decided to make tacos. I want to eat tacos. I've been talking for an hour and a half. K Messenger, have a blessed weekend. God bless you. And God bless everybody watching the channel. Whatever your religion is, doesn't matter to me. We bless you. And thanks for all the super chats, guys. Karina gets breakfast tomorrow at Hardee's. Thanks to you guys. And we'll see you on Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Nomad, thank you so much. Dan, what will we do? Greetings from Morocco. Greetings from Morocco. We'll see you guys Monday. I'm going to eat some dinner.